$40 to the man who wanna go, 20 to the sister with a ticket to the grocery store. I wish someone would get mine. If you got an extra dollar, can you lend it to a man? I've been up, but I ain't down. I've been lost, but now I'm found. I've been defeated for sure, but I got another chance. This city better let me go.
right, hello, Gretna Evolution. Thanks for performing for us. It was really fun to see your show. Um, I am a person who loves an all-female group. It's one of my favorite things, and you guys didn't disappoint. Now, I've got a lot of critique for you, and I hope that this helps. Take it with a grain of salt. If it doesn't work for you, if your director says, no, we're not interested in that, it's fine. But these are the things in seeing your, because this is the first time I've seen your show. I know Joel has gotten to see you before, but I'm going off of initial impressions. So I'm going to just go song by song with some ideas for you. In the first song, what I wrote for was work for a bigger, richer, and then I wrote meaner sound at the beginning to match your soloist. That soloist comes out and sets the bar like, whoo, dang, this is going to be great. And then when the women come in, it's not at that same level. So Joel always talks about wrinkling the nose and getting that sound a little bit gruffer. And then, of course, we have masks on, but there's a lot of words in those things. So you're going to have to triply work hard to get all that diction out. I wrote, there's a place where everybody, especially on the outside, is kind of like on a perimeter, and they're all doing different poses. And it was interesting that on the stage right side, there was one person that kind of did an arm up, and that was out of the 30 people, there was only one up pose, and nobody really on the other side at all. And work to get more levels and utilize the space around you more in that difference. It was all pretty similar, except for then one person. And so you really want to utilize, every one of us has space around us, so we need to fill all the space in different ways. There's what I call the flying adagio section. There's a lot of flying arms like this. And make sure the movement has counts and that the movement goes with the music. And so you're going to have to break those down and figure out, without seeing you, if we were in the same room, I would say run that part for me so I could really try to understand what maybe the original choreography was trying to be, and it has morphed into something that is just floaty. It needs more definition. But then right after that I wrote, your choreography is clean. So good, the rest of the choreography, but the floating, flying adagio section needs work. I would like throughout a bigger, brassier sound and attitude in that opening. You really need to take that opening soloist attitude and put it in all of you, and I think you'll be great. In your second song, and that's where you have some step and rhythm kind of things, I felt like it was always pushing the rhythm a little bit instead of kind of laying into that rhythm. And it's not a really fast rhythm, so you've got to find right where that beat is and put all that stuff, really sink into that slower beat. And I was thinking about that kind of like if you watch the Hamilton choreography, that stuff is not necessarily fast, but it's energetic and it accents those really strong beats. And I think that's what you need. And I wrote, again, bigger, richer, meatier sound throughout. Be careful about, especially sopranos, when you get up there higher, letting that sound become smaller. It needs to, if you're going to belt some stuff, you got to take that sound at the top and make it still as big, so it really rings. The third song, I can't remember what the title was, but I'm sure it's your ballad. And I wrote that there's a cutoff on the words slipped away, and that cutoff was unclear where it was. So look at that. One of the things that I noticed in everybody's videos, and it drove me crazy, is touching the face and what I call selfish movements. And I realized partway through as I was making notes that it's because our masks are slipping down and we're trying to put them back up. So as long as you're dealing with a mask, I guess I can live with that. But I also see, as I watched our 14 videos, I saw people fixing their hair and adjusting clothing and things like that. Just make sure, because we've had masks on for a whole year, we don't want that to become a new norm, that it's okay to touch our face or break a moment. So be careful of that. I wrote in that ballad, that's your chance to really get a message across to an audience. And what are you trying to say in this song? It's a great arrangement, whatever it was. I love the arrangement. But I wrote, it's a little too clinical, too technical, and we haven't gotten to the place where it's artistically or aesthetically beautiful yet. So keep working on the musicality part of it, not just getting the notes and rhythms and cutoffs right, but take us on a journey with that. And I talk about this in my workshop, but really find those peaks and valleys so we really go on a roller coaster ride with you, and that's beautiful. I felt like maybe it was a little shouted too much and we're missing the beauty. Then, in Wanted Dead or Alive, the fourth song, really great soloists. I wrote band accompaniment was just right. There's a step where it's kind of a side-to-side sway and really use the down and ups, okay? So that it's not here, but you guys are too good to not really utilize that. And extend fully. In the hair flips section, you're doing some hair flips. I wrote extend fully, so that means if there's an arm that goes out, make sure it goes out all the way. A difference between where that is and where that is incredible when you multiply it by the number of people in your group. You need to clean the section of the two-part choreography near the end of Wanted Dead or Alive. It really needs some real attention to it. In Wayward Son, there's a part where you turn around and you do a point gesture that goes down like this. And I think that we have different ideas of how fast that gesture is. So you have to figure out, is it 8 counts? And so it's 1, 2, 3. At 4, I'm right about my eye level, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I think we have some people going here and they're down in 2 counts, and some people that are used the whole time. That's a real simple fix. Just figure out counting on it. Then you go into higher ground. That is really messy. Maybe this song is the newest song in your repertoire, which is okay, and that's where it should be. But really work the counts on the higher ground part. Especially there's an overhead thing where your arms are doing what I call duck hands, and that part is really messy. And then I wrote the sound was messy. So Wayward Son probably needs your most attention at this point. I wrote get open for bows and hit it clean. I'm not sure we all made it in time to turn and recognize our band. And then there's some footwork where we do kind of kick out feet, and that looks a little awkward. So Wayward Son definitely needs some attention, right? Overall, biggest issues, really a great group, and I enjoyed you. Thank you so much for performing. Please don't be put off by the fact that I'm getting right to the criticisms. These are things you can fix. I could tell everybody they're great, but then why do they have me being a video? I want to help you to move forward. Biggest issues is keep working on that sound at the top. Get meatier and brassier in the low part, and then bring some choral sound up to the top, and then really work that last song. I think that will come up to the rest of the level of the other songs. Joel?
All right. Well, I gave you a critique at Gretna and saw you at Glenwood, and the group's grown. You're getting better all the time. So you're on that journey, and I love that. And I want to echo what Dan said. The soprano alto groups can be just as powerful as the mixed groups, and I love them so much because there's so much variety of what you can do. You don't have to look much past Millard West's Uptown Girls, Millard North's Illumination to see that you can basically be a varsity group. That's basically what those groups are. And I think you guys are well on your way to being there, because the talent level's certainly there, the interest is there, the teaching is there, you got all the tools there. So now just continue to go for it. Just a couple of notes in songs based on, now that I've seen you a couple times. We talked about the little opera section in Paradise City. It is getting a little closer to that, but I think you can still go farther. It can be more choral. It can be more of a contrast, taller vowels there. And then I'd like to see even a sassier, even lean more country twang on your second number and push it even further. I'm not talking about a whiny character voice. I'm talking about a boot-wearing country woman. sound. And, take my horse to Old Town, going to ride a little bend, pitch bend, just really dig into that a little bit more and see how farther you can take that. I agree, the ballad just needs a little bit warmer tone, especially on top. Soloists throughout the show are amazing, and I wrote the same idea in Dead of Alive. The 2-group choreography is messy. That's work on that this week and get that thing cleaned up. And then I also agree. I think that Carry On and then going into Higher Ground just needs to continue to work. I want to see Higher Ground also feel like it's got more drive to the end. Just really push it. So once you clean it, maybe even increase the tempo slightly. And then that ending is just I'm talking about really just the last 4 to 8 counts is tricky. It's rhythmically tricky. There's a turn in there and it's still not tight. So you want to try to get that last 8 counts to just be amazing. One other note, and I don't know if there's anything you can do about it now. I love the outfits. There's so many of you up there, it'd be nice if there was 2 colors. Now, I wouldn't change the jackets, but even if the t-shirts underneath the jackets were 2 different colors, it might help even define the pictures even more. Don't even worry about it for the rest of this year, but when you got groups that big and they're all in the same colors, you don't have tenors and basses to provide the visual contrast, so you want to make sure there's contrast in your colors there too. Again, so much talent in that group, such a great show. Keep on that journey of trying to define each song and pushing them farther, and Dan and I agree on the spots that you need to just dig into this week and clean and make better. But great work. Thanks.